righty. Good evening, everyone. John Henry Soto. Welcome to the Artist Blueprint. As always, I'm here with George Batista, and we have a wonderful, wonderful guests tonight. Oh my gosh, we are gonna have such a ball here. Patricia, hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Montour, and then of course Leo Rossi is in the house, and we are gonna have I say heck. I'm respectful, but
Yeah.
we are going to have an amazing show tonight. So, George, you know how sometimes I talk a little bit too much.
Yes, you do.
So I'm going to actually shut my mouth. I'm going to turn it over to you so we can give some love to our sponsor, and then we can bring on Patricia and Leo and have an amazing conversation. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. So, as always, the Artist Blueprint Live is brought to you by Wellness Resources, a family-owned and operated nutritional supplement company providing the highest quality, clinically formulated supplements since 1985. Find out why not only I love them, but they are the favorite supplements of many people around the world. Make sure you check them out at myvitaminresource.com. Now, of course, as our listeners and our viewers, if you enter the promo code Counterparts, you will get free shipping on your order. But don't forget, every month they have a monthly special. And this month special is a super sale. That's right. It's 20 to 30% off all of their supplements. Okay. Again, it's a super sale, 20 to 30% off of all their supplements. Okay. So remember, if you enter the promo code Counterparts at checkout, you will get free shipping. So on this promotion, you get anything over $49, you get free shipping. But since you know us, you will get free shipping if you enter Counterpart. So again, check out Wellness Resources at myvitaminresource.com. All right, John. Let's do it. We're going to bring on our guests, but first, let's talk a little bit about them. So first, it's the dynamic duo. We have Leo Rossi. He's well-known as a larger-than-life sidekick who shared the stage with history's most iconic bands and artists, including The Who, Fleetwood Mac, having spent 20 years with the band, by the way, as their stage manager, production manager, and finally their tour manager. Also, Chaka Khan, Bette Midler, Billy Idol, The Beach Boys, and many, many more. Now, also, Patricia Montour-Rossi is an experienced businesswoman, entrepreneur, and visionary whose expertise include creating and building small, cutting-edge companies. Together, they have created the Knights of Rock, a multifaceted enterprise consisting of Knights of Rock music entertainment, Knights of Rock experiences and lodging, and Knights of Rock CBD products. And we are honored to have them on this program. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on Leo and Patricia. All right.
All right. Welcome to the show. We are extremely happy that you're here with us and honored that you're here with us. There's so many, I was reading the bio and I said to myself, I was like, I don't think, can we hear them?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
yeah.
There you
Okay,
are.
good. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I was saying to myself after reading the bios, I was like, how can we do one show? Yeah, we would love that because this just seems to be a wealth of information and there's wisdom that we would love to hear about. So George is the official one. He has questions, and I'm sort of a free flowing person, and so I'm going to turn it over to George so you can ask our first question, and then we'll start the ball rolling there, and then we'll rock and roll.
Absolutely. So again, thank you guys for being on. Very, very excited. So I want to, like I always like to do, kind of paint the picture here of, get a little bit into your backgrounds and what you guys have done. And so, maybe we'll start with Leo. If you could just tell us a little bit about, how you got started in the industry, what you did, and, just some of the amazing things that you've done in the industry. And then we'll go to Patricia as well.
Wow. Well, let's see. Where do I start?
Where do you start?
It's really amazing. Everything that's happened to me has been circumstance and destiny and fate. Doors that have opened. I grew up in San Pedro, California, which is the harbor of LA. Strict Italian Catholic. And I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. I literally was going to be a longshoreman. And what ended up happening was I went to school looking for something a direction, and I ended up running across a teacher, and the teacher was desperate to have one more kid sign up for a stage production class so he can go home for the day, and I did, and I ended up loving this class because it was just really is artistic. But we went to go see a field trip in Long Beach, California, and it was a Broadway play. I hated the play, so I snuck backstage, and I watched the show from backstage, and I absolutely loved it. And I got in trouble. I got caught. So they punished me. But my drama teacher said to the technical director of the theater, he said, "Hey, why don't we, instead of punish this kid, he loves this stuff." So they gave me an apprenticeship to work. So for 3 years, I was doing opera, light opera, but the rock bands used to keep coming through Long Beach Arena and the auditorium. So I kept meeting all the rock band guys. So I kept seeing the same road guys go through, and I learned how to fix everything at an early age.
Wow.
So at 18, I got a call with a lighting company to pick up a tour, and it was with The Who. So I did 4 weeks up and down California with The Who as the lowest, gruntiest, dirtiest little lighting guy. But I kept working my way up, and then doing bands. And in the fall of 1975, I was doing some pickup dates, and that's when I first ran into Fleetwood Mac. And then I did some Loggins and Messina dates, and then ended up as Fleetwood Mac was the opener. And then I met the guys again, and they said, "Hey, we're doing this rehearsal. Can you do the rehearsal?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "But we didn't have any money. And I said, "It's okay. I'll do it. I like you guys." So I did the rehearsal for free, literally nothing. And then they said, "We're doing a tour in '76. Do you want to go on the road?" And I ended up being on the road, and from Fleetwood, from there, I was doing everything, but lighting to stage management, production management, and then over the 20 years, I ended up as a tour manager. So, but all through that, I was touring with all these great bands. So, you know what? And I just kept finding my way with it all. It was great, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes like you don't realize that you're on. I saw from the Eagles. What's Joe Walsh? He
Joe
was
Walsh.
actually Joe Walsh. She was talking about how life, sometimes you're in it and it's like crazy and things are going nuts and you have no idea what's going on. But then you look back on it and it's this well-crafted novel that your life became, because that is what a good novel is. It has its ups, its downs, its challenges, its conflicts and everything. And when you look back, it's like, I just went and I just lived. It's just it's wonderful.
That's what we say. I mean, everything happened for a reason. The band just kicked up in the background, so if you can't hear us,
it's okay. We can hear you.
We hear the bass. We hear the bass.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's what happened to me, and it just found its way with everything that I was doing, and I just took each advantage, and I worked my way through it to where finally, like 2016, I gave it all up, and I take all my energy and all my expertise, and I did everything for charity.
Wow.
And that's just it. Everything I do is for charity, and I ended up having 5 children, and I lost my oldest son to cancer, and he was 27, and he was a soccer player and then a musician, and he went to Central America to play for the Peace Corps with his music, and then we learned that how poor children are around the world. Right. Then I dedicated my life to his charity to help these children live in extreme poverty around the world.
Wow.
So that's what I do today.
Yeah, we both have lost children.
And then Patricia lost her son to cancer.
And so
same kind of cancer.
Because of that, we put a lot of our power and our passion, I guess, because of what the boys wanted to do in this world to make a difference. And so we're fulfilling their purpose in a small way, but we hope it'll make a big difference to some people around the world, children's organizations specifically, wherever the need is. And so that's what kind of drives us to do what we do. And it just organically grows. And it's just, we love what we do, and we just put all our energy into it. And it's really taking off. We're really excited. Yeah,
it's been great. It's been wonderful.
I'm sure you're impacting many lives, and
yes,
that's amazing. Patricia, tell us a little bit about about your background.
All right. Excuse me, I'm working on a cold.
Yeah.
But so Leo and I met back in 1982.
Okay.
Or late 1981, 82. I met him. I was a flight attendant for United. And of course, he walks on I was going to say a ship, on the airplane at noon with a bunch of raging drunk road crew. He was. He was their boss.
I was in charge.
He was in charge. Yes, you were. And he says, "Ma'am," he goes, "Here, just buy them a drink. They'll fall asleep, and the rest is history." And they did. And then after that, we talked in the back of an airplane for most of the flight, and everybody else was asleep. And I just, was so endeared with this wonderful person. I'm like, "Are you for real?" I mean, he was such a good, I'm like, so we dated, and then we lost contact, and I married my college sweetheart. He married his high school sweetheart, and we had our families separate, no contact for 42 years.
42 years. We drove apart, and then we reconnected in 2017.
Yeah, just by chance.
Yeah.
Just by chance. I always wondered, where is he? I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing well. And life goes on. I had 4 children, and 3 girls and a son who passed away with the same cancer. His dear son Ryan passed away with, and so that was really bizarre, because when we reconnected, he told me about his life and what's going on.
Yeah, we were shocked at wow, how random that our lives were so close.
Yeah. So having the same cancer was supposedly curable.
Right.
And our sons were very strong, very young,
Athletic.
they were athletic, totally athletic. And it just so happened that we share that, and we're able to pull our energy together because of the boys and what they've taught us in life to give back.
Use our talents and our past to enhance the quality of life for people.
Yeah, that's definitely we can definitely see that, and George and I are parents, and we have children, so it's something that we feel we can't imagine.
Right.
Yeah, no, we tell people don't even try to imagine it, because it's too hurtful.
Yeah.
Something we would wish on our worst enemies when we lose a child, and but one thing we try to convey out here together with people is you're going to be tossed some really weird stuff in your life, but you got to pick it up, and you got to try to move forward in a positive way and use that negativity in a positive way to try to make the world better. And then all of a sudden it's not a loss, it's a gain. And you're paying tribute to people that you do lose. And again, I think our past, we're so blessed with wonderful past. Why not?
Yeah, and you find that there's so many other people that are in your shoes that would love to share those ideas and issues. I think with the music stuff, we're able to make that an easy transition so that people can relate there, but also relate to us as parents and understanding, all the ups and downs.
Yeah, because really, realistically, going back in time when I was touring with the bands and I never thought that it would end up to be doing this. It just naturally transgressed that way with the master plan, and from there we started figuring, okay, so we've gotten this far. Now what's next? And that's why we were thinking about wellness. And, I listened to all my buddies that I toured with, and it was like, we used to do hemp and pot and everything to not walk. Now we do it to walk.
Right.
Right.
That's kind of how the CBD, our products evolved, because we want to do something that's natural, something that's healthy, and something that we would have given our children, because we saw them struggle with all the medication that they were prescribed.
Sure.
It was just horrible. It just burnt holes in their tummies. It was just something so frustrating for us to see, because back in the day, 10 years ago, marijuana and CBD wasn't legal. It wasn't even on the radar.
Right.
And so now we just wish we would have had that access back then, because we would not have hesitated whatsoever.
Yeah, to keep them out of pain, to keep them out of pain when they couldn't, because the hospitals were saying it's not acceptable, because by chance, if they were cured, that all the data's out the window. And we said, the heck with that. Now it's like, you know what? Just use it. Use it to keep them out of pain. We knew where they were headed. So that's what we did,
Yeah.
THC. It helps with stimulating your appetite, and that's something that patients really struggle with, is eating to heal your body naturally.
Right.
If
Yep.
you're not eating and all you're ingesting is the medication, you know, it's not going to allow your natural body to heal itself.
Yeah, and George is, like I said before, he's a wellness coach, and he's been able to he does his own actual show, called Wellness Talk as well. And I don't know a lot about the different forms and everything, especially probably the last 5 years. I think it's really become more mainstream. It's done well.
Yeah.
And so George, do you have a question? I'm sorry. I'm
No, it's okay. I just wanted to, before I get into that piece, I wanted to kind of go back to their life for a second, because when you really look at how amazing, how meant to be, really not only them coming back together, but what they're doing and what their children have contributed in this world, right? When you think about it, if I remember correctly, Leo, I think you told a story that you saw her at an ATM.
Yeah,
and that's how you guys reconnected, of all the places that you could have been.
And the weird
Right?
part was, it was at a hotel I wasn't supposed to be at, because my normal hotel in Denver was sold out.
Right.
And then I went to the bar for a meeting, and the table that we were supposed to be sitting at was given away. So they moved us into the patio. And then I had my back against the street. And as a tour manager, you never do that. You put your back right, see everything and watch the front. So by habit, I moved the other side of the table. And when I looked up, I saw at the ATM, and there she was. Wow. And I wasn't sure. So I went, okay, I think that's got to be her. And I Googled, and LinkedIn came up, and it said, Patricia Montour, real estate in Denver. And I emailed her and said, hey, I think I saw you. And then she went, oh my God, where have you been? I've been looking. I never do social media as a tour manager. You don't.
Right.
Sure.
And the timing was just perfect. I think we were both at a stage where we were ready for whatever we create at this point. Because, I mean, sometimes it takes a long time to learn your lessons or to go through life. And then now we just appreciate what we have, and it's just beautiful. It really works well for us.
Yeah, it's great.
And the great thing is our children, our beautiful children, they're happy for us, and they see that, anything can happen, even this late in life. So there's
we talk about that as well. I think I've had more new careers than anyone I know, because I think that I don't even look at it that way. I look at it like I'm living a life. I'm living my life, and you go from day to day. And so you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I want to try something. I want to try this. And it's a beautiful thing that you can actually go and try that. That's a blessing for us. So I think that, the reuniting again and the purpose and what you're both putting together right now is just it's so perfect. It's the only word I can think of. Yeah. It's just a beautiful thing.
Very blessed.
We're blessed.
Very blessed.
We're blessed.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about the charity work? Because I know you mentioned a little bit about.
Yeah. My son's charity is called 20K Watts. And he started off by replacing kerosene lamps with solar lamps. A $5 solar light bulb literally changes a child's world. And the money they didn't have to spend on kerosene, and they got fresh air. They can use that money for food, for bus fare, for clothes to go to school. And then it went to water filters, because he saw families boiling water in their living room, and then started helping orphanages become self-sustained, so they didn't have to. And all in Central America, mainly El Salvador, where they didn't have to depend on donations. We don't talk about it. We don't have a lot of websites, or we don't do social media, because Ryan's vision was be judged by your actions. And he always used to say to me, we're going to be successful when we can say no to Oprah. And that's what he wanted it to be. He wanted to be organic. So we carry it on. We've built food sheds, water wells. Right now, we've been shipping hand crank flashlights to Afghanistan, to Turkey, to Syria, to the Ukraine, for children that are stuck in bomb shelters, or they have nowhere to go. And these little $2 flashlights, they sit in a circle, and they crank, and they pray, and they sing, and it's a meditation, and they crank it for 5 minutes, and it stays lit for 10 hours.
Oh
So
wow.
Wow.
can change a child's world. So that's what our mission has been lately is light. Um, and then sometimes music cares. Some of our fallen road guys that needed help that didn't get royalty rates and stuff. So, but anybody who really calls and says they need us, we look at the criteria of it, and we just try to help. We
Yeah.
just use our blessings to do whatever we can to enhance the quality of life for these people that really need it.
Yeah. But we also want to put the message out that anybody can do just one little part, just
Yes.
one little step forward to make somebody's life
Yeah, tell them
better.
about the lunch program thing.
Well, I think there was a post one time my daughter posted on Instagram or Facebook, and it said something like, instead of going to Starbucks and spending $10 on a coffee and a cookie or whatever, which Starbucks is fine,
Mhm.
but take that money and go to a school, go pay somebody's
Yeah.
lunch
Yes.
fee for a week. How happy would that make somebody, instead of having an expensive coffee? I mean, it's just
Yeah, so she was telling me about it, and I was doing a show one day on a ship, and that just came out. And then cruises later, a gentleman came up to me and said, I took your word and I went by a school and I paid lunch fees for all the children for a year.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's just what happened.
You
It's
see?
just the little things, whether it's donating blood, doing the lunch program.
One small action can change a tumbler time. What I take it back to is when I remember me and a lot of the guys used to have like small pianos in the dressing rooms. And with Fleetwood Mac, you used to hear Stevie plunk out chords. And then the next thing you know, it's Dreams or it's Gypsy or one of the big songs. We were saying that's where it started. So one small thing with them changes millions of lives. And
Yeah.
like anybody in this world, book fees,
It's
food fees, go teach a child to read, turn off your friggin' television, go to a youth center and spread your experiences and teach children how to read and write. And, and then it's not only good for them, it's great for you.
Yeah.
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 So that's the kind of thing that we portray in our message. And that was my son's message. And there was a little kid that was 14 years old. His name was Edwin in El Salvador. And my son was so taken back by he gave him his guitar and told Edwin, why don't you ever get tired and you're frustrated, just play the guitar.
Wow.
And here we go, fast forward, Edwin was 24 years old. He went to college. He became a leader in the community. And he went to the Japanese consulate and he traded coffee futures for money to buy a well and electricity for the whole community.
for the village.
Wow.
He, on the groundbreaking, thanked my son and said, this guy gave me a guitar and gave me hope, and I'll never forget 20K watts. The littlest things, man.
It makes such a difference in people's lives. It's such a huge thing,
And all our children help carry on their brother's message, So,
Absolutely.
I mean, so for me, it's like, okay, I got tired of making millions for millionaires.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
the artists. The artists were great. It was the
Yeah.
people around them. It was the business managers and the agents and the families that sucked them dry, and they just wanted to be creative. And then I'd be finding myself making money for bailing out somebody. Like, no, man, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I'm not saying, look, there are guys that can do that. They're younger. God bless them.
Yeah.
But it's just not. It's not for me. And luckily, when Patricia came in my life, we said, what's our mission here? And we lost sons, and we said, you know what? We're not going to let their past go in vain. We're just not.
Absolutely.
On their purpose.
Right. Well, I was just going to say the word purpose, actually, because
Yeah.
last week we had a guest that it was mainly talking about purpose, and she has a course where she helps people kind of find the purpose, because I think I think sometimes we're told what the purpose is, and then you go after something that you've either seen or you think you should go there because society says this is the way you should go. And it's really important to sit down and be able to look at your life and say, like, my purpose is to be an artist. My purpose is to help people, to change people's lives, and that's what our purpose, George and I, is really to just impact artists. And we realize that. And it's such but to the same note, it's getting that information out there. and getting that education out there to the youth and letting them know, listen, you know, college doesn't have to be for you. I mean, you can go to college if you want to go, but you may want to do something else. How about taking an entrepreneurial workshop and becoming a
Workshop.
business owner?
Yeah.
Class.
Yes. Yes.
God, trades, plumbers, auto mechanics, things that
So
you really
many
live.
opportunities.
You know, I mean, all our shows have a message of something at the end that I'll come up with. Like my Fleetwood Mac show is about dreaming. Don't stop. If you're not gonna, if you're done dreaming, help somebody else dream, because the dreamers are the ones that change the world.
Yes.
That's it. Yes.
You know, and then my Beach Boys show, I talk about just losing my son, and I could not even get out of the house. I was so depressed, and I was asked to be the tour director, and I passed when I went and when I first met the guys. Then a friend of mine got the tour.
Because you weren't ready.
I wasn't ready, and then I went to see him, and he says, "You should do this. This is really be a good thing for you." I was driving home from that meeting, and something was telling him to do the tour. It could have been my son. It could have been divine intervention. I don't know, but I took the job. And now the Beach Boys 50th anniversary tour was a joke. It was like everybody was laughing at them. Here they are. They're doing a 50th anniversary tour, rehashing old shit. But all of a sudden, it became this magical, historical thing. And after the Beach Boys did it, everybody did it.
Yeah, I remember that.
To be part of that. But the only reason I did is because I took that step, man.
Yeah.
So when you're down and out, if you take that one step, man, look at, we changed the world, you
Pretty
know?
much saved
So
your life.
a purpose, just like you said. It's
Yeah.
all for a purpose, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what our life is about, purpose.
It's amazing.
Guys, I'm so sorry about the noise. I had no idea that we were going to break into a...
That's
No, we
okay.
knew you were fine, actually. So it's,
Yeah. Yeah. We have a little music in the background, so it's good.
It's 3:30 here in Hawaii, and they break out in a jazz session.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I love
hey,
it.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what it's all about.
You know, one of the things I think about it, you know, when we talk about, there's an old saying that says, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I've realized for myself, you know, when I had my daughter, talking about kids, my daughter is one of my biggest teachers. She has taught me so much about myself and about, you know, my how to, you know, my love for you know, for how to love someone, and how the humanity and how to give and all this type of stuff. And I, you know, just thinking about your kids and, you know, those who are here and those who are past, you know, the love that you have and what they teach you, and it's such an amazing thing. And really, for me, she has taught me how to be more compassionate in my life, and how to, and, you know, doing these things that, you know, John and I are doing, and these types of things, a lot of that came from, you know, what I learned from my daughter.
Yeah.
And I was like, because my daughter also, who's in high school now, she's going to her last year of high school. She's done a lot of volunteer work in school. You know, she's doing the honor society. She's doing all these things. She's doing, and I'm like, you know what? When I was in school, I didn't do this stuff. But yet she's doing it because she just wants to do it. And I was like, you know what? Wow. You know, so, you know, it kind of kicked my mind into gear and say, what can I do now to give back? What can I do? And this is where John and I kind of got together, and I went on the wellness journey and these types of things, because at the end of the day, it's about giving back and helping people and that type of thing. So it's kind of like, I feel you guys in that, you know, because it really is an amazing feeling when you can do that.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? And, you know,
Yeah.
it's like I said, what it does, it brings us all together. And what do we do together? We connect other people.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know, the different messages,
It
you
just
know?
grows.
I think that's one of the reasons why classic rock was so great, because, you know, it touched us all personally.
Right.
Every song, every band touched you personally. But you know what else it did? It connected us with millions of people that were like us and created these communities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what we're doing now, all of us, you know, and it's a wonderful ordeal to be such a big part of it.
I love it. And, you know, music has changed so drastically in the last 30 years. George and I talk a little bit about this, about 70% of music that's being streamed right now is music that's 30 years or older.
I know.
So most of it, meaning that the longevity of what happened from like 19 you could say 1954. You can start at Elvis to about, I don't know, mid 80s or something, or
Yeah.
even Nirvana. But that block of time, it seems like it was perfect. And then something happened along the line. I don't know what's going on now in music, but it seems like the longevity and the shelf life is just not
You know,
there
it's
anymore.
just it's John. It's just another version of music. Our parents hated
Yeah,
the Beatles.
that's true.
True. They're very true. Yeah.
Again, and it's subjective. It
Yeah.
really is. But I just saw today. There's a tour next summer. It's going to be Def Leppard, Journey,
Yes.
Steve Miller, Heart, and Cheap Trick. The second generation of classic rock, and it's
Yeah.
going to do really well, and it'll net more than any of those big tours like Taylor Swift, because I guarantee you their overhead's going to be next to nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you watch how that show sells, and
Yeah.
it's going to be Gen A's. Because when I was out at the Beach Boys, I saw 4 generations of children.
That's
of
right.
people, families. I would see
Yeah.
great grandchildren, grandchildren, parents, and grandparents. And
Yeah.
I always say it was funny because sometimes they sit together, but sometimes they'd be separate, and you'd see it. The house lights would go out, and the grandparents and the parents are sharing a joint, trying to hide their lights and their children. But you watch the little ones. Look at the Beach Boys and playing Surfer Girl and Good
Yeah.
Vibrations. Their eyes this big,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
big, seeing it for the first time, and then you see the parents.
Yeah. Remembering.
Bam!
Yeah.
It was so amazing.
It's just such a beautiful thing. I mean, music. I mean, we can talk. Just that could be a whole,
Yeah.
a whole 2 hour of just conversation with music.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, right.
Definitely,
Absolutely,
definitely.
absolutely. So also, congratulations because you're both newlyweds, right?
We are.
right.
2 months. Yeah, like September 23rd.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's so great. That's such a blessing.
It
Is
is.
did you ever have a time when you thought maybe that you were not going, that maybe you were going on a direction that you shouldn't have gone? Because we talk a lot about risk on the show, and it's taking that first step that's the most terrifying
Yeah.
of doing something that you've never done before. Was there ever a moment where you kind of was thinking, maybe I'm not going to take this, or did someone discourage you? How was the environment that you were, for both of you, like
You
living
first.
in?
Oh,
She was a flight attendant for 20 years.
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, major airline, which was great. At the time, back in the day, it was different. Flight travel was way different.
Mhm.
But I can't think of anything right now, because everything that you go through is a lesson, whether it's
Yeah.
good or bad.
True.
True.
So whether you learn your lessons, you'll keep repeating it until you've learned.
Right.
And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
no
Yeah.
real regrets.
Yeah, for me,
I
never.
can't-
Not a nanosecond ever. I've
Nice.
never done anything for money. I've never done anything. I've left tours because, I didn't start tours because it didn't feel good, because my gut was wrong. Never once. I always made it an effort to be out of my comfort zone.
Love
I
it.
think the time that I was ever really sort of angry or down on something in my life, honestly, and this is where Patricia sort of brought me right back in, I was down on cancer research. And I would tell people, don't put money into cancer research, don't do this, it's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But then she said, it's not about the research, it's about the people that don't have a car to get to get to the chemotherapy sessions. It's about the people that buy food because the mother worked all day, she went to therapy, but she couldn't kick,
Or she needs rent money.
And
because
that
she's
really,
taking care
yeah.
of her child
So-
in the hospital.
Or they flew
something.
him to the Ronald McDonald House and put him up. So that really got me. That was one time where I thought that I was the most negative in my life was on cancer research, until she opened my eyes and I realized that it's more than just the research. It's the whole community of what cancer really
It's
does
helping
to
the
a
family, because it's the family as well that is affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was something that really opened my eyes, and I caught myself, and yeah. So I think the reason I stopped touring was I was on a Billy Idol tour. It was like 2016 or something, 18. Anyways, I started profiling because we were near the Bataclan killings in France,
Oh, yeah.
and every Muslim kid that walked into the room with a backpack and a sweatshirt, I wanted searched. and I found myself becoming this person I just did not like. And the security, if we search them, we have to search everybody.
Yeah.
And I finally said, man, I can't do this. I'm done. I'm
Sure.
done. And I left the road. There was other reasons, but
Yeah.
you know, I let the outside evil force get to me,
Yeah.
and I caught myself. And that's
Right.
when I really made an effort to like,
Definitely
okay,
not who you are.
no, it wasn't. And
Yeah.
that's when we started Nights of Rock. Now, Nights of Rock, the music show, is not just me. There's a group of us that have all retired. We go on stage together. We tell our story together. We do Zoom calls. So that's Nights of Rock is it's a big conglomerate of guys that, people and women that were lucky enough to live the life that I lived. And when you get us all together, and maybe one day we'll do a podcast together,
Yeah.
it's amazing
Amazing.
because we all like bang on each other, but we push each other and we talk to each other. But it's the true story of classic rock. That's why Nights of Rock was invented, because we said if we don't tell the true story of what classic rock is, nobody's going to tell it.
Oh my
That's
God.
why rock was born.
That's true because you think about a lot of people thinking about, okay, musicians on the road in the 70s. I mean, half of them probably, do they even remember any of it? You know what I'm saying? Because you have that vision of these musicians and all the stuff that they went through. And I think, John and I, we've done a lot in music and stuff like that. I mean, not as much as you have, obviously, but a lot. But I always had that thing of like, okay, so if we go on these long tours, I mean, can we survive it? Can we, there could be temptation. What's going to happen? I always had these things, even though in the back of my mind, I was like, but we got to do it. We got to do it,
Yeah.
But that was my hesitation as a musician. Like, the touring piece was always the part that got me the most nervous. But I mean, it seems like for you, you just ran with it.
We all did.
Yeah.
We have this saying. They always say, behind every great band is a good crew.
Yeah.
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 We say behind every great crew is a great band.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
We were there first, and we got there. We set everything up for them. If you don't have a good sound man, it doesn't matter how good of a band you are.
That's
Right.
true.
If you don't have
Exactly.
a light man, they can't see you. It doesn't matter how good you are. So, but we were. There was no separation between band and crew back then. We were all one.
You're on
Yeah.
We were a family. We did it for the right reasons, and the stories that we tell are about those reasons and why we did it.
Yeah.
To make a
Yeah.
difference.
Yes.
Not about money. It was to make a difference.
Yes.
Develop. So that's why we started Nights of Rock, and this is what we do with it.
And Knights of Rock, it's such an important thing to remember the legacies that the history of that time period, because it's not going to happen again.
No.
It's not going to happen again. I mean, I hate to say that, but I just know that what happened during those years is just not going to happen again. And classic rock was so free. It was not corporate. It wasn't in a studio with everything sounding perfect and everything auto-tuned. I mean, how many times have we heard Led Zeppelin records where there's, it's not.
You can hear the little mistakes. You can hear the
in there, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I love it. And that era, that time, to be able to capture that again with Knights of Rock, I think that's so important for the next generation to kind of get it. Is it a podcast by any chance? Are you considering doing that?
No.
You should.
You know what?
Oh man,
I wrote a book.
yeah.
And the book's doing really well. And believe it or not,
just today.
so my son's Angel Day was yesterday, December 11th. Is the day he passed, and I actually finished and submitted the audiobook on his Angel Day.
Oh wow!
So the audiobook.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. Did we lose them? We lost signal.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, this
Are
is
they
going
frozen?
too
They
good.
frozen? Oh, there they go.
There we go.
We're back.
Oh,
We
there
lost-
you go. There you go. Okay.
We lost a member. We lost a member of our Beach Boy family yesterday. One of the musical directors, Jeff Foskett, who was an amazing singer, an amazing person. He was diagnosed with anaplastic thyroid cancer like 6 years ago, and they gave him like 3 months to live, and he made it. He made it this far. God bless, but God bless my friend Jeff. But again, for all of us, life's precious, man. So we just want to tell the true story. Look, if it happened to us, it could happen to you. So
Yeah.
just don't let any stone be unturned, and
Yeah.
go out and make a difference, because that little kid that you're helping, he can be president. Believe it.
Yeah.
He could be a
That's right.
doctor.
He could be a
to
doctor, a lawyer. He could be the next
lives.
rock star.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
know, and he'll remember you. That I remember that guy that gave me a ride to school and paid for my lunch.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a few years ago. I did a workshop, a film workshop for 2 classes, and they were like 9-year-olds to 11-year-olds, and they were so excited. And you could see
Oh,
which ones wanted to be in front of the cameras, which ones wanted to be the behind the cameras, who wanted to do the sound, who was going to edit, who was going to direct. There was this young little girl. She was like, "I'm directing," and I was like, "All right, you're the director."
beautiful,
And it was such
beautiful.
a joy that when we finished, I remember the parents messaging me, because we shot an actual film and we put it. I edited it together and everything, and the parents were just
Oh.
so thrilled. And I left with that same thing that you just said. Those kids now have that experience, and who knows what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They'll remember the little
Yeah,
Puerto
well,
Rican.
You know what? One of them's going to win an Academy Award one day, and they're going to thank you, Johnny.
Yeah,
That's right,
they'll remember
yeah.
That's
they'll-
what happens.
They'll remember the little Puerto Rican from the Bronx.
That's it, man. Hey, thank you.
It's so great. I love it. I love it. And the work that you're doing, you also opened my eyes to something too, because with the cancer research, because I lost my mom in '09 actually, and she was fairly young. She was
God,
60,
I'm sorry.
63.
God bless. Oh.
Yeah, and she had pancreatic cancer, and it was so sudden, where you're just, it was like literally she went into the hospital, and 10 days later she's gone. So I was so upset with cancer research, and I when you said that right now, I was sort of like, yeah, like
You
they're
got
not
it.
doing
Yeah.
what, but then when you just explained the other stories, the bigger picture, now I just realized, what Patricia pointed out. That's really those are the people that we need to really support,
Yes.
because they're the ones that not
Amen.
only are they there, but they're also, some of them are going to be there afterwards, and they need support too after someone passes. It's tough.
And you know what, Johnny and George, we're all blessed to have the platform to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Inspire others to do the same in their own way.
That is the message. I mean, with the artist blueprint is what we want to do, is inspire artists to go out and do this.
Yeah.
Start a podcast,
Yeah.
start bringing in people that and start developing whatever you've learned in the industry that's propelled you forward. Give that to somebody, because it's important for us to continue going, because artists are the saviors of the planet, in my opinion. In our opinion, the artist is the most important beings on the planet. They change society, they change views, they change directions. If an artist comes
Connect.
out and wears his hat like this, I guarantee you that there are going to be thousands of kids wearing their hats like that, with the
Right.
influence. So it's really important to support artists.
Yeah,
Amen.
definitely. Yeah.
You know, if you
absolutely.
guys ever need us, if you ever need us for a message or anything, look, if it's me, if it's the rest of the guys, whatever you guys want, we're here to help you, man, because that's what we're about.
Appreciate you
Absolutely.
very much. And we're also here if you need anything. I'm in Nashville. If you ever swing by Nashville and need anything, or if you need anything, just let us know. We're
It'd be great. It'd be great to it'd be great to get you guys on a cruise one day out of LA or somewhere, and then we can do podcasts from the ship and bring all kinds of people on, and
Oh, that would
and
be
have
fun.
have a Johnny and George podcast on a ship.
that'd be
Sure, that
awesome.
Artist Blueprint goes on tour.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
love that idea.
Yeah.
So we're almost at the top of the hour. The time flies, and I knew this was going to happen, because I still have things I want to talk about. But we'd love for both of you to come back anytime. And like we said, if you need anything, we are truly blessed to have you spend this time with us. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you very, very much.
Well, we appreciate being on, and I'm so sorry about the noise. I didn't even see it on the schedule, but I think it's cool that they struck up the band for all of us, because there's nothing wrong with a little bit of music in our band.
That's
No,
it. That's it.
yeah.
That's what we're about.
now this episode has a soundtrack.
Not a bad band either. Not that bad.
Yeah.
They're going like, wow, this is playing pretty cool.
Yeah. It's the soundtrack of our episode. I love it.
That's it.
I love it so
Awesome.
much.
Good one.
Patricia, Leo, thank you so much for being on. God bless both of you and the work that you do. We're gonna follow you. We're gonna share all the content. If you need anything from us, we're here for you. So thank you so much. God bless you both.
Hey, yeah, offline, let's talk because
Yes.
we'd love to be one of your sponsors, man.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Absolutely. We'll talk
All
about
right.
that.
So we're gonna have that
You know,
conversation.
the CBD line, let's get it together. We'll be a sponsor for you guys, no problem.
And just a
That's
shout out
awesome.
to all our children and all our supporters and friends out there
Yeah,
that give
there's
us
a lot of people that tuned in today. I love you all.
the strength and power to keep doing what we're doing. We all love you and thank you for all the support and love.
Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Thank you so much. So we'll definitely be chatting for sure. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
Long live rock.
That's it.
Amazing, huh? What an
That's-
incredible story. What an incredible
I love
what
it.
incredible lives. What, you know, the serendipity in it, the just amazing. And just now what they're doing is just, it's so inspiring. It
Well,
really,
it's,
really
it's
is.
also being able to get yourself, because of something, it's traumatic, but get yourself together
Yes.
to know that it's for others and
Yes.
to live your life for others.
Yes. Yes.
That to me is so important and so part of what we're talking about here. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Anyway, wow. I mean, like I said before, I think it's 45 minutes is just not enough. We might have to
No,
have a
we'll definitely
series
do it again.
where they just come back and have to come back. Just keep bothering them. Can you come back? Can you come back? Like, tell John and George we're not in.
I'm not here.
They keep calling us. Oh gosh! All right, love them. Awesome,
Yes.
George. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Great to go. We will be back next week, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Artist Blueprint. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our sponsor. Thank Patricia and Leo. We will see you all. Take care of yourselves. God bless. And as always, peace.
Peace.